Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again. First of all, I bring greetings for our Cabinet Secretary, David Chilchid, who is seated in the Cabinet today, and that is why now he was not able to join us. Secondly, apologies for arriving late. I started my meetings at 6:30, and some have overlapped up to now. In fact, the last meeting I was expecting KPLC, and I had to give you apologies, even though you are not given the apologies. I just excused you. So I'm going to read the speech by our CS during the second Kenya Power E-Mobility Conference. Sebastian Groth, Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany, Joy Brenda Maside, the Chair of KPLC Board of Directors, MD Dr. Engineer Joseph Sirol, MD and CEO of Kenya Power. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to stand before you once again at the second E-Mobility Conference. I am thrilled to witness the continued momentum and progress in our journey towards sustainable transportation solutions. This year's theme, Accelerating the Transition to Electric Mobility, underscores the urgency and importance of our collective efforts. The world is at a critical juncture, facing unprecedented challenges posed by climate change and environmental degradation. It is the incumbent upon us to embrace innovative and transformative solutions that will not only mitigate these challenges, but also create a more resilient and sustainable future for generations to come. In Kenya, the transport sector, and I'm sure, and I've seen some presentations, is the second highest contributor of the greenhouse gas emissions, accounting to approximately about 13% of our total emissions. Consequently, the sector has been identified as one of the priority intervention areas in the country's nationally determined contributions, NDCs, commitments, and national climate change action plan. It has been argued that replacing one diesel bus in Kenya with one electric would immediately mitigate more than 50 tons of carbon dioxide per year. Ladies and gentlemen, electric mobility is therefore the most appropriate opportunity available to contribute to greenhouse gas emissions and air pollution reduction to enable the country to meet the NDC commitments. In the year 2022, the total petroleum import costs the country about 630 billion Kenya shillings, or $4 billion, which was over 90% increase from the year 2021. This impacts negatively on our foreign exchange reserves. The country has abundant domestic electricity potential, especially from the renewable energy space, which could power the transportation sector in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya, with her abundant renewable energy sources, is uniquely positioned to lead the charge towards e-mobility. Our investment in clean energy infrastructure, including geothermal, wind, and solar power, has laid a solid foundation for the widespread adoption of electric vehicles. By leveraging our renewable energy potential, we can not only decarbonize our transportation sector, but also reduce our reliance on imported fossil fuels and enhance energy security. Furthermore, the national electricity demand curve of a typical day in Kenya shows a huge disparity between peak and off-peak power requirements. To maintain system stability, power generation is normally reduced by a process referred to as energy curtailment. According to the EPRA data, a total of 495,437 megawatt hours was curtailed between July 2022 and June 2023. This is a lot of energy that could be put into use by creating demand at night. E-mobility can assist bridge this gap by charging electric vehicles, especially at night. As of December 2023, Kenya had a total of 3,235 motorcycles that are electric, 139 tuk-tuks, 195 salon cars, 21 buses, 11 vans, and double cabins, and 2 lorries, and the total demand for electricity is expected to grow. For example, a company called Basigo were operating 19 buses in 2023 with 3 charging sites. They project to have 1,000 buses in the year 2025 with 60 charging sites. The above company was consuming 80 megawatt hours per month. With 1,000 buses, they will consume about 8,000 megawatt hours per month. This is a significant growth in the next 2 years. In the year 2020, the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum launched the Kenya National Energy Efficiency and Conservation Strategy, which identified transport as a key sector to improve on energy efficiency. It is set out, among others, a target of about 5% of our annual importation of electric vehicles, to be electric, to increase the adoption of e-mobility. This has highly been quoted as a government position that has influenced the establishment of a gazettement of the National Task Force through the Ministry of Transport to formulate an e-mobility policy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum is also actively involved in the development of the National E-Mobility Policy, which is spearheaded by a multi-government task force. The e-mobility policy overall objective is to provide an enabling environment for the growth and adoption of electric vehicles in the country. The policy will be integrated and comprehensive, providing the legal and regulatory framework to promote adoption of e-mobility in Kenya. The draft policy will seek to coordinate the efforts of various MDAs in the national and county governments and other partners in the electric mobility space. This is to ensure cohesion and coherence in the growth of the sector and to avoid duplication of roles that result into wastage of public resources. Ladies and gentlemen, successful transition to e-mobility requires a holistic and integrated approach. It necessitates collaboration and partnership between government agencies, private sector players, development partners, and civil society organizations. Together, we must address the challenges related to infrastructure development, technology deployment, policy formulation, and public awareness to create and foster a robust environment for electric mobility. Furthermore, we must prioritize inclusivity and equity in our e-mobility efforts. We must ensure that electric vehicles and charging infrastructure are accessible to all segments of the society, including rural communities and undeserved urban areas. By promoting inclusive growth and equitable access to clean transportation solutions, we can create a more just and sustainable society for all Kenyans. In conclusion, I would like to express my gratitude to all the participants, speakers, and organizers for their dedication and commitment to advancing the cause of e-mobility in Kenya. Let us seize this opportunity to accelerate our transition to electric mobility and build a cleaner, greener, and more prosperous future for our country and the world. Thank you very much.